Good morning, everybody. It's not morning, but hello. Welcome back to episode 87 of Telepathy, climbing up there as always.
Yeah.
Yes, it is another Tuesday, so therefore we are here and we are excited.
Yes. Thank you to all the love that we got on our last YouTube shorts. We really appreciated the 1 like and 5 dislikes.
Check the stats, guys, because
Guys.
Telepathy's performing well. Like, look at our numbers.
Yeah.
Clock it. We also, speaking of numbers, we celebrated our second birthday last
Yay.
Thursday, I think. Telepathy turned 2. She's a big girl now.
Yes. I think it was Thursday. Yeah.
Yes.
Telepathy Tuesday.
Telepathy too. She's a big girl now. And I was going to say, I was thinking about it. I was like, wow, how has it been 2 years? But I feel like we've actually done a good job of like evolving our podcast with us
Yeah.
because I think when I look back to our first few episodes, I'm like, wow, it was so different. But it's like, it felt like such a natural evolution of telepathy. You know what I
Really?
mean?
I need to go back and listen. I should have listened to our AI episode before this because we
Yes.
have actually talked about AI before. It was our episode topic. What was I saying? Is our episode? It was our topic on episode 5, I believe.
Or maybe it was like 3. It was like definitely one of the earlier ones, or maybe
It was
4,
very
5.
early. Yeah, 4 or 5, and it's just funny because like what did we have to say about AI two
Right.
years ago?
It was
Like what did we know?
April or like May or something of 2023. What do you know about AI? So of course we had to do a revisit. Hello? We had to do a revisit for that. So that's what we're here to do today. We're talking about AI and how that's infiltrated our school systems, how it's infiltrated art, the college application process. Let's talk about it. Well, we will,
Yeah.
but first,
But
coffee. No, I'm just kidding. I
first,
made that joke last episode. We always start with our icebreakers, our camp question, because this is summer camp and we have to get to know each other. Even though at
yeah,
this point, this is our 87th question. So we're very
we're
tight, you and I.
we're gonna have to start getting really creative really soon
I know.
with
This
these
one is actually
questions.
kind of generic though. So I don't know if this
Okay.
random frog is in my throat, but I would like her to leave.
Once once in a while a random generic one pops up that's like, "Oh, why have we not asked this question yet?"
Right. And I know we're going to get to the duplicates soon because some of them I was like, Anyways, today's question, your name, your age, and what's your favorite Disney movie / favorite Disney princess? Like, I don't know. They're both kind of the same for me. So I don't know.
Okay. Um okay. My name is Anna. I'm 22 and my favorite Disney movie, I'm gonna say I hate this question, honestly. It's so hard to decide, but I'm gonna say Coco
Yes.
or the Aristocats. But my favorite, like the Aristocats is the one I always go back to and watch. That's more of a comfort movie. I wouldn't say it's my favorite plot wise, but it's more of the comfort movie. You know what I mean? I think Coco, the plot is amazing. Coco 2 coming in a few years,
Yes, like
which
2029 or something crazy
honestly,
like that. But Miguel is my favorite Disney
oh yeah, four
princess.
years. Yes, Miguel. No, Mama Imelda.
Yes,
No,
my
my favorite,
favorite.
yeah, I think or Princess and the Frog. Okay. And then I'm going to
That's
say
a
my
good one.
favorite princess is either Tiana or Rapunzel. Because Tiana, her voice is just so amazing. She works hard, like she's such an inspo. She's more inspirational than some of them, where, it's not just like, oh, this prince came to rescue me. She's like, I made my restaurant and I found a prince. And I'm like, yeah.
Exactly. And at the end or whatever, you can see her paying, I think, with her own coins to do the restaurant. So even though she went on this whole journey hoping that she could open up her own restaurant, like she still paid for it with what she worked for. So I was like, yes.
Yeah. And like she didn't have to use the prince's money, even though Prince Naveen was from like a really rich family or something.
Exactly. Yes.
So I love her.
Okay. Hello, I'm Enzo. I'm 17. And not to like drag this out and keep it going, but The Little Mermaid is definitely my favorite Disney movie. Like, can we talk about the bops? Like, The Daughters of Triton, bop. Fathoms Below, bop. Under the
Oh
Sea, a
yeah.
bop. Part of Your World, the best Disney song. It's like it's right there with Almost There, but it's just like it's right there. And then Poor Unfortunate Souls, Baddie Anthem, Le Poisson is funny. Like it's just
Kiss
stacked.
the Girl.
Bop.
Kiss the Girl.
Exactly.
Yes.
And also, I just love Ariel. And like, even though Demi Lovato was kind of onto something, when she's like Cinderella, because she worked for where she got, she wasn't some little hoe mermaid. Okay, don't come for Ariel like that. Like, you're kind of onto something, but like, don't do Ariel like that. I will say, I
But like
think
Cinderella didn't really work for what she got either. She worked and then she got something else separately. Her
right,
working had nothing to do with what she got.
right.
Tiana, however, worked for what she got.
Moana is my second favorite. I think just like the water related princesses, so good. I also do love Mulan and Tiana. So
They're all
good.
good.
My
Bring back
faves.
Disney princesses, honestly. Like, why did they just stop making Disney princesses
Because they're
and
making
start?
live actions.
Yeah.
Stop.
Can we
Stop
like
challenge.
not?
No, like, why do we keep doing this? I think
Anyways,
I saw something about like reportedly Rapunzel is put on hold. And I'm like, you know
yes.
what? Good.
Yeah. They were like, okay, guys, halt all production. We need to take a step back. Because, like, honestly, though, seriously, how could they keep doing this? Because they're just going to continue to get worse and worse hate as each movie goes on. So they
Right.
need to change
The
their.
box offices have spoken. Like, even The Little Mermaid, just on that note, the live action, I actually really liked it. Like, there's a lot of things about it that were really good. But for some reason, that was the one that did it for me where I was like, okay, we have to stop here. Like, I was like, okay, you guys did something cool with this. I like it. And for how much hate that Halle Bailey got for that, she was like one of the only casting choices that I actually supported after watching that movie.
And same with Rachel Zegler. I feel like she also is probably the best casting choice yet. Is getting the most hate.
Whistle while you work.
Although Gal Gadot or whatever is getting a lot of hate.
Ugh, she belted like a C#5 or something in that. And I was like, okay. But then I was like, the computer was like kind of doing the work. So I was like, anyways. Yeah, okay. Hold on. I just have to say this, that I think that Halle Bailey as Ariel and Jacob Tremblay as Flounder were like the two casting choices for that movie that I was very confident about. Like that was the only like
Yeah,
walking away from the movie, those are the only two that I was like, okay. Everyone else I'm kind
for
of like,
sure. For sure.
anyways.
Anyways, enough with that.
Right. And talk about yapping. Ugh.
Yeah, do you have a music shout out for this week?
I do. Guys, why am I a freak this week? This week I've only been listening to 2000s early radio hits, I would say. And so the one that made it to the top of the pyramid this week that is getting put in the Telepathy playlist is Kiss Me Through the Phone by Soulja Boy. That's all I have to say about that. Like, I was just listening to it in the car and I was like, where did songs like these go? Bring them back because it's so good and for
Yeah,
no reason too.
real.
You know that I miss you.
My music shout out
Correct.
is, have you listened to Sunshine and Rain by Kali Uchis? Kali Uchis? I don't know how
Wait,
to
yes.
pronounce. How do you pronounce her name?
Kali Uchis, I think.
Kali Uchis. Have you listened to that song? It's her new song.
I have. She's
It's
releasing a new
really
album
good.
soon, I think.
I've never listened to her that much, but I got on YouTube recommended the music video for that song, and the thumbnail looked cool, so I watched it, and then it's like such a good song. Her voice is so good.
Oh, I love her so much.
Yeah. Yeah, I should listen to her more. Any movie, TV shout outs?
Actually, yes, it was my spring break this week, and I watched quite a lot of Barbie movies. Actually, I watched three. Okay, I watched Barbie and a Fairy Secret, 10 out of 10. Princess Charm School, 10 out of 10. And then Mermaidia, 10 out of 10. And I also watched Catching Fire with my friend while I did my
10
nails, so
out
that
of
was
10.
fun. I also watched Heather's this week while doing my other friend's nails. So there was actually a lot of movies
Dang.
on in the background, but all movies that I've seen before. But we love that. So film major coded, actually. Can say that now.
Yeah. Me and my roommate have been going to the movie theater to see the release of The Chosen season 5 because they're like dropping it in like chunks at the movie theater, and it's really
Oh.
good. It's the show about like Jesus and his disciples, but like biopic, you know?
Okay.
And they're currently in Holy Week, and it's like really getting tea, you know?
It's
It's getting
like
down to
we're,
tea, you
yeah.
know? Also, the casting choice for Pontius Pilate is hilarious. They made him like a literal diva. Like, he's like so sassy. Like,
Pontius
why did
Pilate
they
as a
choose him?
diva. Oh,
Yeah, it's so funny. But it's a really good show, too. Like, cinematographically and sound production and scripting. It's really good. And my roommate is a film major, so she loves it.
oh. Any updates from your week that you feel like you need to share with our listeners of Telepathy?
Let me think.
Oh, also the
I went
Telepathy
to
playlist. Did you talk about that?
Oh, I didn't. The Telepathy playlist is a playlist where we put all of our Telepathy music shoutouts. You can view it by going to our Instagram at the Telepathy Pod, going to the highlight titled Playlist, and clicking on the link to the playlist, which leads you to our Spotify playlist. How many more times do I need to say playlist to get the word count?
I don't know. I think you reached it.
Okay, good. New style, guys. New style of shouting out the playlist just dropped. Anyways, I went to Charleston on Friday for a little day trip. I have a very short SCAD end of college bucket list. Like I want to, do a few things before leaving SCAD. One of those things was go to Charleston because it's very close. And I've been there before, but I didn't really remember it. But it was very fun. And then I also wanted to go to an equestrian show because SCAD
Ooh.
is actually very well known for its equestrian team. We actually won nationals last week, apparently. So we're really good. And so my friend is on the equestrian team, and I asked her, like, when were some upcoming shows, and she said that there's actually one over the weekend. So we went over the weekend. It was really fun. I checked those two things off my SCAD bucket list.
Yes. For me, it was my spring break week, and I worked 6 out of 10 of the days, which, like, I don't know why I did that. So feeling not refreshed at all for some reason, like, I don't know, it just was not. I should have listened to our episode on how to have a restful yet productive break because clearly I followed none of that because it was my first day back today, and I just feel like, I don't know, I think it's partially senioritis, of course, and just like I'm permanently burnt out. Not permanently, just a little bit more long term. And so coming back today was just humbling and I was not ready
I don't
for it.
know. I don't know how you got through high school without a COVID break because my COVID happened at the end of junior year, and that was just such perfect timing. Like, I applaud you for getting through all of high school without.
Oh, thank you. I'm kind of glad that I didn't, though. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, yeah,
Do not,
it's
not
better
wishing
that way
that. Okay, should
for
we
sure.
get, okay, speaking of how the times have changed and COVID and online school and just the shift of academics, shall we get into AI?
Indeed, ChatGPT,
Yes.
you are our friend, but just pretend that you didn't hear anything that we're saying right now, ChatGPT, if you're listening to us.
Exactly. So we always start off with like definitions and stuff, but it's like, let's be honest, we know what we're talking about today. So I think we should start off by kind of exposing ourselves. So how
Ooh,
do you use AI in your daily life? Like which platforms, how are you using
okay.
it? How are you utilizing this tool?
I'm gonna say right now, I really mainly just use ChatGPT. Um, we were talking about this before the episode, or maybe during the episode. I lost track now. But like when we recorded the last episode about ChatGPT or about AI like 2 years ago, it was like a week after I had first used ChatGPT. So it was very new. But now ChatGPT is my friend, and I try to like only use it for stuff that I can't Google, if that makes sense. Like, or if I just need it really quickly in a summary, like maybe if I were to search this topic on Google, it would take like 2 hours to compile into a list. For example, I've been doing a lot of research over the past week about like different visa processes in different countries, and if I were to like try to get a job in a different country, like how to do
Okay.
that. And ChatGPT has been really helpful at telling me like the do's and don'ts. Other than that, I've used Photoshop AI recently in like my portfolio just to like expand backgrounds of images, like not to like do the art, but to mainly just expand the background of images. And then I've done a few like conceptual projects in AI. But other than that, I don't really use AI. Like maybe there's some AI that I don't know that I'm using.
Yeah.
Because there's so many AI features in apps now that like it could be anywhere.
No, literally. And we'll get into that. I feel like for me personally, same with ChatGPT. I don't really know any other sort of AI sites, but when it comes to school, I honestly use ChatGPT as like a search engine, and it's really bad because it definitely like gets the information quickly and kind of organizes it in a way that's just like mentally not overwhelming, as opposed to going into Google and searching it and then going to a bunch of different websites to get the general consensus of what you're trying to know. But I think also this like instant gratification thing long term is probably it's not going to be good for our brains. Especially also I think with education, you're seeing a lot of, and this is with the underclassmen at my school and just I think the younger people, it's just getting worse. We're like copy and pasting from AI and doing
Yeah.
assignments like that. But it's the type of thing where it's putting a lot of trust into AI because the truth is it's just being fed a bunch of data and stuff and just to produce this output. And it's typically going to try to respond with like a neutral answer, like it's not supposed to be biased, but when you're feeding it all this different types of data and it can get like overloaded with that, it can produce biased responses. And it's also just like critical thinking is kind of not existent with AI because I think like even in formal writing, we are not really supposed to give your opinions necessarily. You still have to like critically think and analyze what you're researching. So like for example, with the research paper, you might go to experts who have, I don't know, maybe like an interesting quote that you want to use, or maybe you want to use some findings from like a study that they did. But the thing is, you don't just copy and paste that into your research paper and call it a day. Like you still evaluate, whether it's like data that you're looking at or just an interesting quote. You still have to like evaluate and analyze how that contributes to your overall purpose
Yeah, for
and what you're
sure.
trying to say, your overall message. But I think with AI, people are getting very comfortable with just kind of seeing the information as is and not really like critically thinking it and just copy and pasting it into an assignment or something like that. I hope that made
Yeah.
sense. I feel like my brain
No,
was
that makes
spewing a lot of
sense.
things.
No, I was gonna say like there's been the thing like when you search something on ChatGPT, it puts the message like AI can make mistakes. Always fact check your stuff, which I think is really important. And like if like I feel like we grew up writing essays and stuff without AI, so we knew to like go to the scholarly sources to get our info for our essays. Whereas you could search that on ChatGPT now, but like if you take it directly from ChatGPT, it could accidentally like combine things and mess up the info. I think ChatGPT is better used as like you search, like give me 5 resources that could relate to Van Gogh's time in Provence, and then it'll give you the links, and then you can go out to that. And I think that's a better way to use it, just to like spend less time looking, so that you can spend more time on the actual real website. You know,
Yes.
I wanted to. I don't know if like this is too early to talk about in the flow of things, but this popped into my head when you were talking about like quotes from articles and stuff. But like the other day, okay, so like I've just been thinking about this over the past few days because I've encountered this issue the more I use ChatGPT. Not issue, but thing. So about a week ago, I was doing research for a book, and I had to make kind of like a paragraph report of a summary of this book. And I was actually making a mood board because I'm basically making like a typeface based on a book for my type class. And so I was like, give me 3 give me 5 quotes from this book that I can incorporate into like the theme that like talk about the theme, the overall theme of the book. And ChatGPT said, like, unfortunately, right now we can't pull specific quotes from a book. But here are some other quotes from the author that he's said in interviews. And I was like, oh, wait, that's kind of interesting. Like, but that makes sense because it doesn't want you to just take all the information from the book when you should be paying for the book and purchasing the book
Yeah.
to read. And then something similar happened the other day. I was in the car with my friend Lily, and she wanted to like caption her Instagram post with a Taylor Swift lyric, per usual. And she was searching on ChatGPT, like, give me a bunch of Taylor Swift quotes that use the word luck in them. And ChatGPT was like, unfortunately, we can't pull lyrics from Taylor Swift's songs or something
That's
like that.
interesting.
And I was like, wait, that makes sense because Taylor Swift has really strict copyright rules. And it could be other artists too, but like especially Taylor Swift, that like ChatGPT just can't take the IP of an artist and replicate it. Which makes so much sense because you need to be paying for the media to actually receive those quotes. Isn't that
Yeah.
interesting?
And so like there's constantly new updates with ChatGPT. Let me find this screenshot that I took actually because I don't even fully understand what this means because it's just so like tech heavy, but this is from educationnext.org. And this is like one of the AI like ChatGPT the third update. It's like one of the models and it underwent like training with data, you know? And it says a staggering 300 billion tokens or word pieces using more than 175 billion parameters to shape the model's behavior, nearly 100 times more data than the company's GPT-2 model had. So it's like,
Oh, wow.
I can't even tell you what that means in terms of data, but it's like with every new update, it's constantly processing more and more. And I think now that you're going to see artists trying to be more protective of their work. And so like ChatGPT can't just take every Taylor Swift song and input it into their system and figure out which ones have
Yeah.
this word in it. And that's interesting that it did that because I feel like normally it would pull from maybe like Genius then or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, totally could have pulled from Genius, but there must be now. I think it makes a lot of sense. And also because 2 years ago, I think actually at the time that we recorded our last episode, because I'm thinking about how the fact that we talked about this. But remember when the AI covers of songs was a huge thing?
Yes,
I mean,
that
it's
is literally
still,
insane.
like, I would say that maybe, I mean, I haven't really been on TikTok much. I just don't think that that's really much of a thing anymore.
I've
Question
still
mark,
seen
or
it. I
is
think
it?
it's actually getting worse because this is
Okay.
when AI gets tricky because it's like, yes, oh my gosh, information at your fingertips, so cool, like so organized. But now you're seeing things like Twitter bots or deepfake. That's like a serious issue. And like,
Yeah. The deepfakes. I remember watching when I was in like middle school. We used to watch CNN 10 or CNN Student News, and there was a segment about deepfakes, but that was way before anywhere it is now.
yeah, because it's more like accessible now. And there's actually, I can't even like talk about this, but like I heard like a local story of this recently
Really?
with like deepfake and like just
Oh my
a total
gosh.
invasion of people's
Oh
privacy.
my
And
gosh.
just hearing about that is literally terrifying because I think, you know, for a while I kind of thought, oh, it's only celebrities, like their voices are being manipulated to make a fake cover with it. It's like, yeah, it's annoying and it's kind of, it really is like, it kind of is scary for artists because it's like people make money doing covers and stuff like that. So it's like when you can just have AI do it for you, it kind of takes that
Yeah,
away. But then when you're literally using AI to like expand upon what it might know about somebody's like body, for example, like it's genuinely terrifying.
yeah. Well, I had seen something recently. I forget where. This was some YouTube video, but I forget what it was. And it was somebody brought up the point that like you could make a deep fake of like a president saying something and then put it all over the news. And it's like you could literally make a video that's like like Putin just declared war on China, and there's a video that literally looks like Putin declaring war on China, and then the US actually declares war on Russia or something like that. And then it's like this whole war starts for, what's the word? It's like Romeo and Juliet. Or like The Boy Who Cried Wolf. No, but it's like Romeo and Juliet. Like something didn't actually happen, and then you do something, and then the thing actually happens. You
No, and it's
pretend to
like
kill yourself, and then you actually,
a
Romeo and
major
Juliet,
concern
whatever.
because it's like it's not even freedom of speech because like hence the reason why you can't just go into like a mall or something and yell like fire, fire all of a
Yeah.
sudden. Like you can't do that. And so I think that it's going to be a similar situation with this where it's like, okay, just because you have the ability and you figured out a way to do this doesn't mean that it's okay. And like when it comes to fear mongering or like public panic, like it's just
Yeah.
terrifying.
Like they're definitely gonna have to make some. I'm still waiting for like the government to make legislation around AI. There needs to be like a new amendment or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just crazy because you're seeing it on such a big level of like, I mean, like you were saying, I know it's like a hypothetical thing, but manipulating like a political leader's words, you can see AI at such a big level like that, but you're also like, I literally see it every day at school. And like I was saying, like I sometimes use it, I don't copy and paste directly, but it is just like, I think it is kind of eliminating the depth in learning, because you're
Yeah.
not really applying what you've learned because you're
Yeah.
literally just taking it surface value from like artificial intelligence, which could be producing a biased answer, like we were saying. Or even if it does
Yeah.
have a neutral response, like you still need to critical think and like look at different sources and stuff to
Yeah.
like, form your own
I th-
opinion.
I think the best way to use it isn't like only using it if it's like a tool slash like make something more efficient so that you can actually do the real work.
Exactly.
Like for example, I always use this example, but like when I was doing I mean in graphic design, it's sometimes okay to use AI generated filler text if if it's a conceptual project. So for example, I made a magazine with that needed to have 3 different articles. And like I wasn't going to spend all the time writing 3 articles because then I wouldn't have enough time to actually design it. So I AI generated all of the filler text. So now I have like my magazine with 3 AI articles, but nobody's actually reading the articles. The whole point of that project is to look at the design of it. So like I'm gonna use filler text for that, but I'm not gonna like AI generate a whole essay.
Exactly. Because AI is saving you the time to do that. So you can actually focus on your actual task, which is
Yeah,
designing the thing as opposed to like having to write it too. So it's
yeah,
like, that's when it works. My last little point though was also like in schools, if a teacher gives you an assignment and you're copy and pasting the questions into ChatGPT, if your classmate is doing that, what answer do you think ChatGPT is giving them? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, to some extent, it
yeah,
can be like tailored to you based on the information that you've previously fed it and other prompts you've given it. But at the end of the day, the person sitting next to you is probably going to get the same answer when they copy and paste the same exact question into ChatGPT. So, what's your
yeah.
teacher going to think?
I saw this funny Instagram reel the other day that was like kind of on the other side of that. It was, what if your professor is using ChatGPT to grade everyone's essays?
Oh,
So so this person, it was like a joke Instagram reel. It was like a funny Instagram reel. And so they put in like, it said like typing in a sentence into my essay to see if my professor's really reading it. So they have the whole essay, and then at the end of this random paragraph they type like, are you actually reading this? And then it turns to the professor who's filming the Instagram reel, and he puts in a ChatGPT prompt that's like, grade this person's essay and check for any filler sentences, testing if I'm actually reading this.
that's
And I thought that was
hilarious,
so
but kind of
funny.
scary.
Yeah. Do you want to should we talk about like the college applications and like job
Yes.
applications topic now?
So this is actually where it gets kind of messy because AI is very accessible, and this is a good example of that. So within the college admissions process, I know that a lot of universities were kind of trying to crack down on AI use within writing. So, like, if students are using AI to write their Common App essay or something like that, so they're trying to use like the essays to like evaluate somebody's character, but not necessarily look at the essay in terms of how it's written because they're worried about AI and stuff like that. But then now there's some speculation against some universities about how they're using AI to review applicants. And so it'll like paste all of the information and their criteria and their resume and everything like that. And then basically like rate them on certain things. So then colleges can better assess like who they're looking at, what a student's strengths are, what their weaknesses may be. But it's like, that's so unfair. And like, what message does that send? Because it's like,
Yeah.
even if you have 100,000 plus applicants, what message does that send if, if you can't take on a big course load like that as like the admissions people, how are you going to expect your
Yeah.
students to come to the school and take on that big course load? That made no
Yeah, and
sense. But do you know what I
also
mean?
no, I know what you mean. That's also I feel like that's judging people on like trying to find the exact perfect person that is like the top 5,000 perfect people that are
Yeah,
just so perfect that they have everything perfect that fits this algorithm. Whereas at a college you don't always want all the perfect people who have like perfect grades, perfect everything. You want like the whole point of the essay is to like grade them based on the story of why they're motivated. It's not about like what they've done, but like their motivation to why they want to go to this college. So like I feel like now it's just turning all these people into robots of like we want this big like perfect robot student body instead of like we want this diverse, interesting, eclectic student body who's all doing different things.
exactly. Because if you're just going off of what's on paper, so for example, like GPA and stuff like that, I mean, even if a student has like a really good essay and ChatGPT kind of flags it as like, oh, they talk about this, it's like you're still not getting the full picture and you still need, like, I feel like the college admissions process is such like an intricate personal thing because, of course, you're reviewing so many people who may be really well, like who may do really well when it comes to academics, but then maybe they're lacking extracurriculars, or maybe somebody who's just like kind of mediocre when it comes to school, but is doing all of these amazing things outside. So
Yeah.
it's like it's a process that just needs like close like attention to detail and really something that AI just can't do. So I don't know if this is becoming an actual thing, but if it is, let's stop because
Yeah. Did you see what colleges were using AI? Does it
so
say?
there was actually one of the rumors that it was like UNC,
Oh.
which that's a little bit more of a local one. And this article here, it was like Duke was saying that they're no longer assigning a numerical value for like undergraduate admissions, like when scoring an applicant, because so it says, okay, while the university would still ask students to submit essays, they couldn't be seen as an accurate reflection of writing ability. It says they are not given a numerical rating, but considered as we think holistically about a candidate as a potential member of the Duke community. That felt like a very loaded sentence.
Yeah.
It's giving
It
media
felt like a lot
training.
of it sounded like they were saying a lot without actually saying
No,
anything at all.
exactly. Okay, the personal essay component of the college application has long served as a method to better understand a student's interests, desires, and motivation beyond their quantifiable achievements and was valuable in helping to identify competitive applicants. Okay, hold on, let me.
See, I think ChatGPT wrote that
No,
sentence.
wait, literally, why is this all a mouthful?
Like, why do we need to be speaking like this? Like, I know we're going to college, but like,
No, I know, no, literally, because I'm like, you just said a
explain
whole
it in
lot, but I was
pop
like, what
culture
is.
terms. Explain it in pop culture terms.
Have you seen the reels or whatever that's like being an econ major is so hard or something like that. Or being a business major is so hard. Like ChatGPT can't even do this. And it's like a questionnaire that says like, what's your email? And they put it into ChatGPT and it's like, sorry, we can't find your email. And it's like, oh my gosh.
I haven't seen that.
Like this is just, we're getting to the brain rot stage of AI.
Yeah, I think we should also talk about I think I think it'll be funny. I almost feel like we should come back every 2 years and make an AI episode, kind of like how Billie Eilish does her like every year at Teen Vogue or whatever company, Variety.
Yes.
So we should come
Vanity
back every
Fair.
2 years and talk about Vanity Fair. Sorry, why did they all start with a V? We should come back every 2 years and talk about like the updates in AI because so a few days ago was the whole scandal with the Studio Ghibli art. Did you see that?
Wait, I did not.
So ChatGPT in their new model, if I'm stating my facts correctly, ChatGPT in their new model released the ability to recreate the Studio Ghibli style art, but you upload a picture and then it spits it back out in the Studio Ghibli style. And then Studio Ghibli, I believe, got mad because they literally are using their art style without crediting them or
Yeah.
like it's just, it's just like not cool. Like they're just stealing their art style to make money and it's almost like can you copyright an art style? I don't know, but like it's really complicated, but people were like half of the people were excited and like generating their Studio Ghibli stuff. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, one of my AirPods ran out of battery. Some people were really excited and like generating their Studio Ghibli art, and then half of the other people, a lot of artists, were really mad. A lot of like SCAD students that I know were posting about it, like stop stealing people's art through AI.
Yeah, it's just crazy because it feels like every few years there's some sort of scandal regarding technology and like personal, like privacy and stuff like that. Because remember the whole debate with like Alexa and Google Home and all of that? And everybody was like,
Yeah.
oh, it's listening to you, it's invading your privacy, it's like information is too accessible now. And so now it's
Yeah.
like we constantly are just leveling up. And now I feel like AI is the new, not the new Alexa, but it's the new controversy that surrounds the conversation of, oh, information at your fingertips and like we know too much, you know?
Yeah. It's funny because like now we don't even bat an eye at Alexa and Google Home. It's like, oh yeah, hey,
No,
you
literally.
old school technology. But like the thing too is like I feel like maybe back in our episode 2 years ago, I feel like I was a lot more hesitant about ChatGPT, but now I'm like, ChatGPT, like I love
know.
you.
Because it's like we started using it and it's like you kind of have to befriend it because it's like, why are you kind of like making everything efficient? But it's not.
Yeah.
Like in the long term, I don't think that it's gonna be all that great. Not me doing that whole pause
need
just to be
a-
like, it's not gonna be all that great.
Yeah.
But I think we should talk about how it's now everybody is updating their software to include AI. It's like Apple, now there's like Apple Intelligence, whatever that is. The
The
iMessage
text
thing. Let's
messages.
talk about that.
Oh my gosh. Let's talk about that. The iMessages. Has that shown up on your iPhone yet?
No, it's just in my computer, but also I haven't updated my phone in so long because I'm out of storage and like beyond the point of return. So I need to like, I've been through my phone so many times out of clear storage. So I need to like do something because I'm out of storage. My phone is it's still on like iOS, whatever the last one was.
Yeah. I think like Apple for some reason has been like beta testing the AI thing on my iPad. Like I got it for one day on my iPad and then it disappeared. And then the other
It's on
day
my
like
Mac.
Kirk sent. Okay, I don't think I've gotten it on my Mac yet. But then the other day, or was it you? You sent it the other day.
It was Kirk
or was
that sent
Kirk?
it, and I didn't know if that was from his. That could be from his iPad or Mac or whatever.
It looked like from his phone, I think, because I think it was a screenshot of his phone.
Okay, but basically now we're too busy trying to do all of these other things that we don't have time to read our own texts anymore. So Apple thankfully has now, it goes through your messages and summarizes what somebody has said and the general gist because your friends are irrelevant and have nothing important to say. And so we just need the rundown so we know how to respond and just get that conversation out of the way. Thank you so much, Apple.
It's always so awkward too, the way the AI condenses the text messages. It's so
No, literally.
silly. Like, I'm trying to find the one that Kirk sent the other day because it was so funny. I can't even find it because for some reason Apple doesn't always show. Like, there was something the other day where I was texting like my club group chat, and it was like, I looked at the summary and it was like, both officers are busy this day. Both officers are busy this day. Propose a new meeting date. And it's like,
No, it's so funny. Also, when it's like, not every iMessage conversation is business related. So I don't know why it's tried to consolidate it like it is. Because literally I'll just look at my phone and it's like, Anna read the new Hunger Games. Carolina's moving to Europe. And it's like, no.
yeah. Yeah, no, it's so like professional. Yeah, that's the perfect way to describe it. It's like they're acting like your funny friend group chat is like a business group chat because of the way they send to the AI thing. It's like
And also, like,
they
who
use
is
such
this
fancy
AI?
terminology.
And why is she reading my text? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
did I consent to you reading all of my
Yeah,
messages?
like,
And why are you summarizing it for me? I didn't ask for this.
yeah, and like I hope this doesn't become like a normal thing in 10 years because it's so fun to like read through a group chat of your friends' text messages. Like, I swear probably later today I'm going to get an AI overview that's like, Enzo, Carolina, and Kirk quote 10 minutes of the Hunger Games movie.
No, literally. And where is it going to get to? Wait, this is funny. Like, at what point is your friend going to send like a full on paragraph that's like, I broke up with this person and here's everything that happened. And then AI is just like, somebody broke up with somebody. It was messy, you know? And then
Wait,
it's like,
I think I saw a meme that was like, I think I saw a meme that was like, supposed to be like getting a text from your boyfriend, and it's like, long message from John, proposes that he needs to take a break.
no, exactly. And then if somebody's like, oh, did you see my message about this? And it's like, oh, no, I only saw this part because that's like what it summed up for me. It's like, that's so weird. I'm also laughing though because in the last episode that we did, I literally remember it because we did a snippet we posted on Instagram where I was like, at what point is it going to get to where you're not even talking to your real friends? You're just talking to your Snapchat AI, which is kind of funny because I forgot about Snapchat AI because Snapchat has not seen the light of day on my phone since August 2023. So I think that's funny that was like my most revolutionary point in that video. I was like, at what point are you going to be talking to your AI Snapchat bot instead of your friend?
Yeah.
But like, and now it's evolved into at what point are you not even going to be listening to your friends because you're just listening to the AI summary of what they said?
Yeah, it's literally like WALL-E. Like every day the world becomes more like the movie WALL-E.
Isn't WALL-E literally an AI? Or is it Dolly or something?
Dolly.
Yes,
they
AI
had
connection.
to have based that off of WALL-E. I need to watch WALL-E again. I haven't
Disney
seen
movie,
that in like
it all
12 years.
connects.
Disney, can you remake WALL-E in live action?
I don't know. It's just crazy because like a live action, sorry, I literally just processed that. Anyways, I think also it might be one of your AirPods that's like low battery because it kind of has been cutting in and out.
Okay, I think it's this one is
Okay, yeah.
is broken. Wait, I'm trying to think of what I was gonna say. Shoot. This was good. I had something really good to say. It's okay. Do you have anything else to say? And it'll come back to me.
Yes, another thing that I have like now Quizlet. There's AI in there.
Okay, I remembered what I was gonna say.
Okay. That's what I needed. You needed Quizlet was the magic word.
Well, I was gonna say, like, I think AI can really help in terms of learning, like Quizlet. AI is really great, I think. Like, I used that for like the one test that I had in college. I made my quiz with flashcards and then it tested me. But I've been trying to learn French again. Over the past week, I decided that I'm really going to learn French now. And on Boozoo now, which is one of the learning apps, now they have a feature, if you pay for the membership, they have a feature where you can practice speaking with an AI. And I think that's awesome, actually, because, I mean, it would probably be better to find a real person to speak and practice French with, but like starting out, if you're nervous to like speak to a real French person, it's such good practice to like practice your speaking, conversing with an AI.
Right. I just feel like this is a whole ethics debate because
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
yes, this is speeding it up. In theory, AI summarizing my text, is that going to save, like, if you add up, if that saves a minute of my day every day, when you add that up, it's like, wow, it's saving me so much time. But it's like, that's not time wasted necessarily reading your friend's text. Like, you should care about what they have to say and stuff like
Exactly.
that. And I don't know, I feel like it's just, we're going to get to a point where it's just all taken a little bit too far. And then we're going to be clowning ourselves sitting here like, what have we done?
Yeah, I mean, like, me and my uncle had a conversation about this, like, maybe a year ago, about, like, one day, if AI does take over everyone's jobs, say in, like, 100 years, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Like, it's a good thing because we can go do whatever we want and just, like, run around all day and have fun. But, like, working is such a human thing that, like, we've always, even before like the Industrial Revolution, like you've always had to hunt and gather for your food or like start a fire. Like working does give you like a sense of fulfillment. And I don't think you can be happy without feeling the sense of like, oh, I just worked hard for what I got and it feels really good.
Exactly. But it's like, even in the Industrial Revolution, like there were still things that, you still have to do, like you were saying. So it's like, it should be the same for a technological revolution. But I mean, I think if we do want to get to a point where it's like, oh, have AI do everything for us and we can just like do whatever. It's like, if that's what y'all want, okay, but I feel like we need a plan. Like we cannot just like gradually, or no, like obviously not gradual, like we can't just blindly go into this without, like, what is the, like, are we trying to become more efficient? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like we need to understand the greater purpose of it. Because if you are just trying to, I don't know, save some time at work or something like that, that's fine. But when you're getting into the conversation of like, oh, now you're trying to summarize what my loved ones are saying to me, which is funny because most of my texts are literally brain rot. So, one, good luck to AI
Yeah.
summarizing that. Second of all, is this really that productive and saving so much time for me? So, yeah, I think there's just a lot of questions that go along with it. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think that the cons kind of outweigh the pros, but also I feel like a hypocrite because
Yeah.
it's like I literally use AI in my daily
Yeah.
life.
I have this quick theory, which we can probably wrap up this episode pretty soon because it's getting up in the numbers. But
Yes.
I think I had this theory in that conversation where I was just talking about where like what would happen if AI did replace all of our jobs and we were left with nothing to do. I have this theory that if that were to happen, everyone would turn to art and become artists because I think that everybody, whether you identify as an artist or not, I think that being an artist or being creative is such a human trait that everybody has. I heard this quote the other day, I think from a YouTube video. I forget who it was. I have all these quotes in my head that I'm referencing and I have no citation, but so sorry. But somebody said like everyone's an artist, but only some people choose to channel their artistry and become an artist like as a job. But I think that like once nobody has jobs, everybody's just gonna like fill their time with art, whether it's like painting or like building something or like Because, like, back in the cave days, like, so many people would just, like, paint art on the caves because, like, that's all there was to do.
Yeah.
Like, I think art is what happens when you're, like, the most bored. And we're going to be bored when AI replaces our jobs.
I feel like an interesting thing though would just to be like live one day and do all the things that you do, but imagine it replaced by AI. Like when you think about it, going to the grocery store and all of that, if the person checking you out is AI, if the person restocking the shelves is AI, it's like, I feel like that something about that sounds really isolating. I don't know why.
Or, like, you don't even have to go to the grocery store because your AI phone knows exactly what you like to eat. So you just get it delivered to you every day without having to. It's like it's like you have the chip in your brain that's like, oh, I'm in the mood for hot dogs. So
Yeah.
it gets immediately delivered to your house.
It's just like instant gratification on crack. But no, I think we saw
Yeah.
this during the pandemic where a lot of people like worked online and, some people still have worked remote and like they've found like gone into a groove with that. But I think for me, it was like doing school online for a bit. I was like, okay, cool. Like online school, it didn't feel like I had to do as much, not as much social interaction, which in theory, like sounded great to me, to the scared little eighth grader who was literally changing schools. Like, of course that sounded nice, but then like as the months went on, it was like, this isn't going to work. Like, I feel like I need that social interaction, or at least I need to put myself out there because I don't know, like, I feel like it kind of encourages people to like stay in their comfort zones, but I feel like, and it's just in so many different aspects, not just socially, but I feel like you kind of have to push yourself a little bit to actually like grow and like reach your full potential as a human being. Wow, so
Yeah.
motivational.
Yeah. There's so. I wish I could take, like, an AI specific philosophy class. Like, I think it would be so interesting. Like, I still remember one of the conversations we talked about in my philosophy class, which was like, would you let a robot raise a child? And there's so there's so much interesting conversation around that. So I think it would be so interesting to, like, have a whole class about AI,
Yeah.
which there will be very, very soon, I'm sure.
Like you could literally take the transcript of this episode, paste it into ChatGPT and say, give me a summary of this. And it's like, maybe you're getting the same information as somebody who sat through and listened to the whole episode. Not me using us as like a reference, but like, like you technically are getting the same information, but it's like, at what
You're not
cost?
enjoying, and you're not getting the entertainment aspect of it.
Because we're really entertaining and very engaging. So if somebody
Yeah,
were to do
guys.
that, they would be missing out. Just saying, that's not biased information at all.
No, that's just
No
like, I
bias.
searched on ChatGPT, like, what is objectively the most entertaining podcast, and it said Telepathy with Enzo, Antonio, and Anna Catherine. So that's,
Right.
like, just a fact.
Because actually, when the lights go out, me and Anna are feeding it data. It only knows telepathy.
Yeah. So, guys, if you didn't get anything from this episode, what you should get is that we are ChatGPT. Like, whenever you search something into ChatGPT, that's actually either me or Enzo on the other side of the computer, like, typing something back. We're really fast typers.
My friend has my contact in her phone as ChatGPT because whenever
Really?
she needs like a response to something or somebody, or maybe if she's like texting somebody, it's like, what do I say? I'll literally like type up, be like, say this.
Wait,
And she changed my
really?
contact to
That's funny.
ChatGPT. So I
Wait,
feel like
that's
kind of
actually really
honored,
funny.
even though we like, once again, ChatGPT, we kind of just like made a diss track about you, a 50-minute diss track about you. And it was episode 87 of Telepathy. But yeah, I think that's the general consensus of this episode is that like
Yeah.
it's it definitely helps with like productivity and efficiency, but there's kind of
At
a
what
lot of
cost?
ethical concerns going on here, which I feel like we can all agree on that there is some sort of ethical concern with this. It's just like where people stand is where it gets a little bit blurry and people have different
Yeah.
stances on that. So let us know
There's definitely
yours.
yeah, there's definitely so much more to talk about. Like, we'll get back to you in another 2 years with all the updates. But, like, even we didn't even talk about, like, the Oscars AI stuff, like, with people getting eliminated because they're using AI. Like, there's just so many more things to talk about.
We have two
But
more
that's
years.
for another time.
Or
Yeah, because this is about to be our longest episode ever.
yes, two more ChatGPT episodes until Coco too.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yes.
See,
Okay,
it
if you
all
enjoyed
comes
this episode,
back.
give us a follow at the Telepathy Pod on Instagram. Follow our podcast on the various platforms, or like subscribe to the YouTube channel for the video episodes. Give us a video a like, whatever is applicable to what you're using. We encourage you to do it because why not? And we'll see you next Telepathy Tuesday for another amazing episode. Except it's actually going to be our AI voices next week because we don't feel like we could be more productive and like plan out the episode better if we get somebody else to
Yeah.
record it. So we're just going to feed it to them next week. So
Yeah, we
Yeah.
just thought we'd completely outsource the whole podcasting so that we don't have to do that anymore.
we were actually, this is AI us the whole time.
Yeah.
Actually,
This is our
YouTube is going to
soft
flag it as like
launch.
AI content. Okay, I need to shut up.
Okay, yeah. Just kidding, just kidding.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Whistle while you work. Okay, bye.